What's up, guys and gals, and it is time for the latest, finally, piece of One Piece. Chapter 1147, on time, catch-up month of April. Basically finished, because we're nearly all caught up on all our series, entitled The Things We Find Scary. Now, right out of the gate, I'm going to take a little bit of flack back. That's fair, from the last chapter review. Still holds my point, but we do get at least a couple of things that are helping somewhat with this power scaling debacle, right? Now, I'm not popular enough to get a bunch of flack back, as it were, but I know that a lot of people did not agree with me because I've already went on the Reddits, the Discords and stuff, and I've seen that most people do not share my opinion. So were my video to be popular, a lot of people would be flacking back at me, right? So it is what it is. But that being said, we'll cross that bridge as we come to it. So first off, cover serial. The one thing I want to say about the cover serial, like, it's cool, like Rise was there and everything, Yamato, everything's all good. Somebody's in the background fuming, holding up one of the masks. It looks like Who's actual mask, and it looks like they're going, motherfucker, that kind of idea. So I'm curious if Who's right there and people are like, we took your mask off and we're stomping on your stuff, or the more darker connotation of this is that they took Who's mask off while he's unconscious, and it's sort of a katakuri thing, and they're making fun of his face. There's probably a reason Who wears the mask. He's disfigured, burned, something like that. And right now they're like, not so tough now, are you? Look at how ugly you are. I don't think Oda would do that. But, ... You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, yeah. Darker connotations in the background going on there. Now, immediately, this is the pushback that, as I said, immediately that I would get about this, is that Saul, for some reason, given the information we have, why the fuck would Saul know about the immortality, the regeneration, the Majin Buu, the Perfect Cell hacks in One Piece that only just showed up this year? You know what I mean? The same hacks that has not appeared for over 1,000 chapters and 25 years in One Piece. And we expect Saul to know about it and then preposition Chopper and Robin to not engage. I'm okay with the fact that this happened because it does explain why Robin and Chopper would hide while Saul gets his ass kicked. However, how does Saul know about this? Vice Admiral, sure. But how do we not know about this? Like, there's a little bit of a problem. There's a little bit of a gap there, in my opinion, that if Vice Admirals know about the God Knight's hacks, I beg the question for now. I gotta reread One Piece and see where this is an issue. You know what I mean? I have to see where this becomes an issue that we can assume if Saul knows that every Vice Admiral knows. We can make that assumption. And based on that assumption, okay. This brings too much into question for me personally, but at least for right now, it does explain away why Robin and Chopper were willing to hide and not show themselves. Because he immediately says, Robin, Chopper, hide. He's a God's Knight. They're immortal, and we can't beat them. So once again, he knows about the hacks. Okay? So, for the children's sake, you have to stay quiet. Right? Now, this is where Summers is all goading over everybody and like, survivor of our heart. Well, there's two of you, but I guess only going to be one of you shortly. I'm Summers. I'm an asshole. And then it goes to Gunko. Now, once again. Okay. Jinbei should be able to kick the fuck out of a God's Knight. Just fucking saying, okay? Jinbei is a former warlord, one of the strongest. Kid Law, everyone, the Yonko themselves were like, what the fuck? Jinbei is joining the Straw Hats. we're cooked. Because he's that guy. Ugh. And here, however, it's a slight, not retcon, but slight problem solving, shall we say, in Jinbei's character. They got their ass kicked. Once again, a Yonko crew. So, here's an argument to be remade about the whole idea that Yonko crews don't need to be top tiers and stuff. You know, okay. Quality over quantity. Big Mom's crew has like 10,000 goddamn ships. Kaido's crew has like 10,000 pleasures. Shanks' crew, said by Oda himself, is quality over quantity. A small crew that nobody fucks with. Right? So Shanks' top 5 are stronger than anybody else's top 5. Because it's quality, not quantity. Kaido and Big Mom were quantity. Right? Not saying they didn't have some quality. I'm just saying. The Straw Hats number 10. Total. They're a Yonko crew. We need not just the Monster Trio. We need stronger combatants, right? This is my problem. We're in Final Saga territory, and Jinbei's losing to a dude we just met. Well, a chick, but whatever. Granted, I say all this. I say all of this to say that Jinbei himself sort of redeeming himself right here. Not gonna lie. So, because of the, once again, Oda shouldn't have done this, but the hacks on the Gods Knights. Because of that, Jinbei, Brook, Usopp, and Nami were all captured. And Nami sounds like the rest of us, you know, going, how dare they do that to Saul? They took Colin too. And how can you let this happen, Jinbei? I thought we'd be good with you here. Nami is literally me and every fan with half a brain cell thinking, what the actual fuck? Right? Nami's speaking the truth right now. However, look at Jinbei. He's not beat up. He didn't wear himself down. He said, quit making a racket. I'm trying to think. I wonder how do we handle this ability. So Jinbei is calculating. And I'll give it to him as long as he redeems himself later. As long as he starts kicking ass against a God's Knight by the end of this arc. I'm good. But for right now, this better, Oda, you better fucking do something about this. Because Jinbei literally got himself easily captured. 4 of a Yonko crew. That number's 10. Half the goddamn crew captured by a subordinate God's Knight. And we're led to believe that Luffy's king of the pirates level. I'm sorry, this shit wouldn't happen with any other fucking Yonko crew. I'm just saying. The number 4 does not lose. Yasop and Lucky Roo do not lose to fucking, I don't care how you number it, but it goes Shanks, Ben Beckman, and then take your pick. But these guys right here do not lose to Gunko. And if you think that, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is ridiculous. This is the crew that's going to have to fight all the admirals at some point. Guess what? There's like 5 of those fuckers. You know? There's 3 of them and a fleet admiral. So somebody's got to be number 4. And if Jinbei's losing to Gunko, I'm not confident that he's not going to get his ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? However, once again, I say all this to say this chapter cleared up a little bit of the Robin stuff. Robin Chopper stuff. And right here, Jinbei's playing the long game. And I'll accept that for now. So I just put away all my anger. I got it all out right here at the beginning of the review. Jinbei is like, alright, she can regenerate. Her devil fruit's kind of bullshit. Alright. Let me come up with a strategy. He didn't take any damage. Look at him. No damage taken. And he's like, alright. Just, she's not killing us right yet. Give me a minute. Let me use the old gray matter between the fish ears. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll give Jinbei that for now. I will give him that until he figures out, alright. Is what it is. Now, we do see Brooke immediately saying, that woman, no, it couldn't be. And then Gunko immediately is like, sticks a knife in his face, kicks him in the skull and says, you there. Your life will be devoted to making music for me. You belong to me. Because Gunko is once again a celestial dragon or a higher born. She's a god and she loves his music. Recognize Brooke. She's a fangirl. Okay? That would be funny in any other context. Had we not gotten this chapter and the last chapter of Jinbei, Brooke, like half the Straw Hat crew losing to one goddamn God's Knight, which I would argue ain't a Yonko or an Admiral, then this would be comedic gold. But right now, I'm a little too fuming, you know what I'm saying? But that's the joke. Gunko is in love with Brooke. Not in love with Brooke, loves his music and wants her to make music. Basically treat him like a Kuma, right? You will only ever make music for me and I will only ever listen to it, blah, blah, blah. We get this beautiful Brooke moment. Like, Brooke is always still in the show these days, you know what I mean? He's always still in the show. And it's amazing because Nami, Usopp, Jinbei, they all recognize, like, what a groupie and stuff like that, right? And Summers tries to call it out. Now, Brooke just immediately says, my sincerest apologies, young lady. My captain, Straw Hat Luffy, gave me a second lease on life. Since then, my loyalty has been to him and him alone, and I would sooner embrace death than live without honor. I'm like, this man, just like when he called Big Mom young lady, like, listen to me, young lady, because he's older than everybody. It's awesome. So, anyways, yeah, so Brooke just says, fuck you, Gunko, pretty much in the most elegant way possible. She is, like, not happy, so she kicks him and all this shit. Now, when she kicks him, by the way, this must be a hint. So she smacks him with the arrow fruit. We see the arrow, we see her kick, all this stuff. She immediately goes, ugh, and grabs her heart or her chest area. What does this mean? She's sweating. Something hurt. Something went ba-boom. Okay. Limitations. This is what I wanted. This is what I asked Oda for. Alright. Let's swim. Let's not sink. Let's try to swim. Let's tread the water until we know we're cooked, right? So, either way, we go on here that Summers has one of the Den Mushi of Elbath to be able to talk to the whole island and basically says, we've kidnapped all your fucking kids, right? And if you guys do not, do everything that we say, obviously we're taking them hostage and we're going to kill the fucking kids. And we get, for some reason, we get this whole long list. The entire chapter, it feels like the Bible. Like, if any of you have read past Genesis in the Bible, like, or Exodus, like, seriously, it's literally Joseph, son of John, who's son of Joe, who's son of Josephina, who's son of G, who's son of JJJJJ. You know, it's literally, half the Bible is a goddamn family tree written in long form. Like, it's not that impressive. Yes, there are a crazy amount of stories in there, but I'm serious. There are pages of family trees. Tolkien was smart. When he did the entire dwarf line, one page, just drew little lines. Durin the second, Durin the third, Durin the fourth. He just went, done. There's 2,000 generations of dwarves. Have at it. Actually, that was like 4,000. Anyway, he did 4,000 years, longer than the human race. Well, not longer than the human race, but still. He did the equivalent of the human race on one page. What the Bible was thinking, I have no idea. But anyways, point is, they do the same thing here for some reason. Like, I don't know any of these characters, so why do I care yet? Like, I guess this is their introduction thing. But it's like, haha, do you happen to know all the children that were captured? Do you know their names, a teacher? And by the way, do you happen to know the parents of all these children? Well, yes, I do. All right, well, let's go. And so we mention every single one of them. And then there's the mothers that attack the Great Eric and stuff like that, and it's kind of funny. It's kind of comedic gold. Dory and Broggy and everyone's like terrified of these dangerous mothers who are so powerful, and they're stronger than the Lokis, the thunderstorms, the dragon and everything. It's like their mothers are the most insane. It's like, all right, fair enough. It's funny, but right now not so funny because shit's going down, you know? So it's one of those weird mixtures where One Piece does this thing where it's like everything's dire and we're adding this comedic element into it. Sometimes it hits. Right now, for me, it's not hitting, but I do get the joke. It is funny. I guess I'm just not too thrilled with the direction right now. You know what I mean? Though I'm very happy with the ending of this chapter, and I am happy with at least the explanations as to why Jinbei and Robin and everyone was so pussyfooted last chapter and into this chapter. So, you know, I got mixed feelings realistically. It's like, oh my god, yeah, Chi-Chi with the frying pan kicking the shit out of Goku. Goku can blow up a galaxy, but she's whacks him over the head with a frying pan. It's like, do what I say. Fine, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, so I get the comedic gold here. Oh, nothing more. Hell hath no fury like a woman's scorn. I get it. I get the moms are scary, blah, blah, blah. But right now with the direction, I'm not able to elate 100% to it, I guess. It is what it is. But anyways, yes. So we get the entire conversation where it's like, the first one is Yovel, then Olfa, then Scotty, and then Colin, and then Oronya, Mug, this person, that person, all these people, and we're introduced to all these, and it's like, okay, fine, Danny, whatever. Now, Ripley has met up with her husband, Scopper, and it's like, oh, well, hear that? My boy Ripley, like, there was only 9, and he joined the line of 10, trying to save his friends. What a guy. It's like, this is not a time to brag. It's like, yeah, well, I'm just proud of him, you know what I mean? Because Scopper's cool as a cucumber. That led me, right here, this leads me to believe the God's Knights are nothing. Scopper Gabon is on Elbaf. It does not matter. It does not matter. And the end of the chapter is about to prove that. It does not matter. Because Scopper Gabon is here. He's actually doing a Garp, a Rayleigh, a Roger, a Wah! Oh, that's hilarious. Wah! This is no time to be joking. You know, well, blow me. You know, like, no, don't worry. Everything's going to work out and stuff. It's like, no, everything is dire. Shit is fucked. Scopper's like, the reason Scopper can laugh right now is because he knows his son and the other 9 children are going to be safe. Because he's about to go kick the shit out of them. He's Scopper Gabon. He's fine. You know? So, once I saw this panel, I was like, immediately this chapter is fire. Immediately I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Because if he's like, this isn't the time to drag, he's like, well, you know, whatever, mama, and stuff. And then immediately it's just like, yeah, so we're going to kill your kids one by one. And Scopper's like, wait, what? Alright, fuck this shit. And he grabs his axe. And it's like, alright, I'm going to smash every single one of them. And that's when everyone's like, oh no, you can't burn the tree. You can't burn the histories. You can't burn everything. O'Hara, blah, 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 the library, yada, yada, yada. And then immediately, Chopper's like, Robin, don't get mad. And Robin's like, fuck this shit. And I'm like, yes, okay. Potentially 4th, 5th strongest of the Straw Hat crew. Let's go. Let's fucking go. And then Ripley's like, Scopper or Yasan is like, yes, they're on it. And he's like, yeah, because she's like, that's our baby boy. You go fucking get it. Yes, dear. Boom. And Scopper rushes forward with an axe. I'm not going to let this shit go down. And both of them, like, Robin's got her fucking triple eye set looking like Hawkeyes, looking like Emu, like the eyes are there. It's devil time. It's devil time. And Scopper's rushing forward. left hand of the Pirate King, let's fucking go. You know what I mean? So this chapter restored my faith. To a degree. Once again, 88% restored. I'll give you 88%. Still mad at the hacks. Still mad at the bullshit. Still mad at some things. However, once again, the explanations are at least sound, and Robin, after 1.5 chapters, said, no, fuck this shit. So good for her. Jinbei, calculating a little bit. Fair enough. He's not wasting his stamina. He's like, alright, Delphurd's hard to figure out. She's got immortality hacks. Alright, conserving my stamina and my strength until we can figure out a way to kick her ass. And then I'm going to go full tier on her. And I'm like, alright, respect. So, 1,145 left a bad taste in my mouth. 1,146. 1,147 here gave me, as I said, 88% back. My taste buds are 88% back. Alright. Fair enough. Fair enough, Oda. But once again, as a consistent, well, not this month, but now that I'm caught up, as a consistent, generally speaking, One Piece reviewer, I have to gauge and judge each chapter on the information we have that week. I cannot assume that Oda's going to fix assumedly good or bad writing, just because he's Oda. You know what I mean? This is part of the not the curse, but the flaw in being a week-to-week reviewer is that you have to judge each chapter based on the context that you have week to week, and judge it based on your own personal preferences week to week. So, yes, I still hold to my opinion on 1,146. And it's not entirely fixed here, and my problems with the whole stab and the consistent bleeding is still an option here. It still might be prevalent in future chapters, but 1,147 has certainly given me at least a little bit of a everything's not completely fucked sort of moment. If that makes sense. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this chapter review for 1,147. So glad to be caught up and getting this review out basically on time. It was released really, really late last night, and I worked a 10-plus hour day today, so this is going to be released just, really, really close, but basically here on Friday. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Looking forward to 1,148, which apparently there's no break next week from what I read, so let's go. Let's go. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. Have a good one, everyone. Like, comment, and subscribe as always. Sayonara.